Today's topic for discussion is introductions to network security. The three overlapping terms are there related to security: the network security, computer security, and information security. Some discussion has been already taken place on information security, and today, just for sake of completeness of the topic, we'll try to make some different comparison between network security, computer security, and information security. And I'll give you one small example which will help you to understand what is network security, computer security, and information security. So first, we'll try to understand the scope of network security, what kind of threats to any networks we come across, understand the terms denial of service attacks and its countermeasures to be taken. So these are the various measures, various topics, subtopics we will be taking up. The network security will be primarily discussed in detail, but we'll also try to compare between other kind of security measures. We'll talk about threats, we'll talk about denial of service attacks. A computer network is simply a system of interconnected computers. Earlier the computer was a standalone system. They were not connected to any other system outside. So security measure was not a bigger issue that time. But today computer network has become a part of any computer design. The network comprises nodes which are client terminals, user PCs, and one or more servers, what called host computers. They are linked by communication system. It could be a wired, it could be wireless, and some of which might be private kind of networks, such as within a company, like local area network, for example, or some might be open to a public access, like internet connectivity they have. The example of a network system that is open to public is the internet. And internet today is a global network. All activity today are becoming online. Every organization is connected, has an online presence. All organizations, institutions, offices are available online. The organizations and penetrations of digitizations and penetrations of internet have transformed our work. The effect, how do we work, how do we learn, how do we communicate. Every organization that wants to deliver online services to the customers and employees must be, so there is a threat today that now today becoming online, you are connected with outside world, the informations you are sharing with the customers and employees must be protected. The role of network security helps protect proprietary informations of the organizations from attack. Network security is a main concern in online access to the critical resources. Network security comprises measures a company to protect its computer system from security breaches. Compromised network security means a hacker or a competitor may gain access to the critical or sensitive data of the company, and which can cause a data loss and also complete destructions of the systems, and also it will spoil the reputation of a company also. Network security involves all activities that organizations, enterprises, and institutions undertake to protect the value and ongoing usability of assets and the integrity and continuity of operation. An effective network security strategy requires identifying threats, risks, vulnerability, and then choosing the most effective set of tools to combat them. Network security comprises any activity designed to protect the usability and integrity of networks and data. It includes both hardware and software technology, targets a variety of security threats, stops them from entering or spreading on the network. Effective network security manages access to the network without violations of security measures. Network security combines several layers of protections of the network. Each network security layer implements policies and control. Who is authorized, who is not authorized, what if someone is authorized, what he can able to do to the software. Authorized users gain access to the network resources, but malicious actors are blocked from carrying out threats. The network security concerns the following: firewalls, antivirus software, intrusions detections, access controls, data encryptions. All these features which we listed are part of network security. Threats, these are the various threats to the network security. and some of them already have been discussed, and something which was not discussed earlier will be taking up. Viruses already have been discussed, Trojan horses we have discussed, worms have been discussed, bots we have not discussed, we will be taking up. Spyware, adware also we have discussed, phishing we have not discussed, so we will be taking up this topic. So these are the threats to the network security. But just for completeness, viruses, what is viruses? We have discussed that they have the ability to replicate themselves by attaching itself to existing program on the host machine. It has the ability to travel over the internet. Examples, and we have given you lots of examples of this one, or types of these viruses. We have done file virus, we have discussed about macro virus, we have discussed about boot sector virus, stealth virus, etc. So these are different kinds of virus, and their activities differ from one from another one. The worms, as we discussed, let us recall, worms do not get attached to any program in the host computer, but gets self-replicated. Unlike viruses, worms are network aware and can easily travel from one computer to another computer depending upon the availability of the network. It does not do any harm to the target machine, but will consume lots of hard disk space, which may slow down your system. Trojan horse, let's recall we discussed that the purpose is to hide themselves inside the legitimate software. Upon execution of that software, they steal the informations. Provides a backdoor gateway for malicious software to enter the system, steal the valuable data without knowledge and permission of the owner of this data. Bots, this new terms has come, we have not discussed earlier. Bots is an advanced form of worms. It is an automated process designed to interact over the internet without the need of human interaction. They may not be harmful all the times, but malicious bots can first infect one machine, and then after infecting it, it creates a connection to the server of the machine, which will provide a command to all infected machines attached to that network called botnet. Adware, discussed earlier, that is not a malicious the way other viruses or the worms they do it, but they do breach privacy of the users. Display ads on desktop or within the individual program. So basically the basic purpose is the display ads on the desktop, keeps track of individual interest and display relevant ads. An attacker can embed malicious code inside the software, and adware can monitor your system activity and can even compromise the machine. A spyware, a software that monitors activity of individual on a system and reveal collected information on the behavior of interested party. Spyware are generally carried by Trojans, viruses and worms. Then it gets installed and disguise themselves to avoid any kinds of detection. Example of a spyware is keylogger, that is a malicious program to record user keystrokes on a system to steal passwords, credit cards, details, etc. Ransomware is a type of software that either encrypt files or lock the computer, making it inaccessible. Then a screen will be displayed asking for some money or kind of or that is ransom in exchange. Phishing attacks. Phishing is a common type of cyber attacks. Keeps on sending fraudulent communications, usually done through email that appear to come from a reputable source. The goal is to steal sensitive data like credit card, login information, or to install malicious software on the victim's machine. So how does phishing operate? It starts with a fraudulent email or other communications that is designed to attract a victim. The message is made to feel as though it comes from the trusted sender. As a result, an individual gets convinced and provides sensitive information. Sometimes malware is also downloaded onto the target's computer. Denial of service attacks. I think we have discussed, but again let's a little bit elaborate on this topic. Denial of service attack, sometimes called DOS attack, is an attack with a purpose to slow down machines or to shut down a machine or network, making it inaccessible to the intended user. It is accomplished through flooding the target machines with more and more traffics. The DOS attacks deprives legitimate users, employee or their account holders of the service or resources they are expected. Now the term we'll discuss these three terms, quite overlapping, but there is some kinds of distinction is there, and we'll try to focus on that. Computer security has evolved in recent years. We have been talking so far about the network security. Now let's move to the computer security now. The computer security has evolved in the recent years before the problem of data security became widely publicized in the media. In the early days, domain of computer security focused only on the physical machine, security of the physical machine, and there was no concern about the data and information security. So the main focus of computer security was related to theft of the computers or the damage of the computers, but not related to security, to prevent theft or the damage to the hardware. This was the basic goal was there of computer security, to prevent theft or damage to the informations, prevent disruptions of services. Now computer security includes measures taken to provide confidentiality, integrity and availability for all elements of computer system. These components include data, software and hardware. There are three important aspects of any computer related. One is the confidentiality, we discuss integrity and availability. Confidentiality, also known as secrecy or privacy, ensures that only authorized users have access to computer related assets. Access includes not only reading but also viewing, printing, etc. Integrity means that data information can be modified only by the authorized users, only what is permissible. Modifications includes writing, changing, deleting and creating. The availability means that assets are accessible to only to authorized parties at appropriate times. In other words, if some parties or system has legitimate access to a particular set of objects, that access should not have a denial of service. Computer security is the protection of computer systems and information of the organizations from harm, theft and unauthorized access. In the case of PC or laptops, the protections comprises data like password, sensitive data or the IP addresses from any misuse. Computer security protects the system from both software and hardware part of a computer system from getting compromised. So it confines both hardware as well as software. Software is what the information system you are keeping on these systems, sensitive data which you are keeping from the system, and hardware comprises all these other processors, memory and other devices which are a part of a system. If a computer can be infected without ever connected to the internet, they may spread and infect computers through LAN or workstation or damage files. The computer security concerned with the following assets to protect, but not necessarily confined to only these few things, but these are the prominent ones we have listed here. There is a PC, servers, tablets, notebook, laptop, all comes as a part of computer security. Network devices such as a router, switches, application software and operating systems. So we have discussed already network security, we discussed about computer security. Let's move to the information security now. Information security is more business oriented, while network security and computer security are more technology oriented. Information security is basically the practice of preventing unauthorized access, use, disclosures, disruptions, modifications, inspections, recording or destructions of informations. Information can be a physical or it can be a digital form. So they just like other two, network security and this one information security also has a wide domain. So these all we have listed here, these all issues are part of the information security: intellectual property, regulatory compliance, the business integrity, espionage or spy, corporate governance, crisis management, risk analysis. They all are part of the information security. Let me give a small example to compare between all the security types. So to understand, so we discuss a lot on the computer network, the network security, we discussed about computer security, also gave some points on some hints on the information security. We have discussed information security earlier also, but one quick example will make you a distinction between all the three types. Think of any organizations, big organizations, which wants to keep its client and employee data secure. It deals with number of different kinds of data, large number of data deal with it. So a big organizations wants to keep all this data related to client and employee, or might be another kind of data secure. So it will be it is information security. So the management takes a decision to make sure that employees' computers are properly protected in case of loss of your data, and this becomes a computer security. And also viruses that can potentially expose the entire network or shared file, and it is a network security. So we have given 2-3 stages to protect the informations, and that way we try to categorize all the 3 types of security. And finally, what we discuss here is we define the scope of network security. We define various kinds of threat to any networks we come across. We also have very interesting kinds of attack, what we call them denial of service attack. And in the denial of service we attack, that basically the purpose of denial of service attack is very different from another kinds of attack, like phishing attack or another kind of attack. And that they flood your system with a number of email messages or any other kind of messages, and basically the purpose is to shut down the machine. Machine will not able to work because the buffer is already filled up, and to work in machine you require some memory memory available, and the purpose is to shut down the machine by giving lots and lots of informations to your systems. And the various countermeasures we explain now. And also that is the last point, and the focus was on this point itself. What is a network security, what is domain, what is a computer security, what is domain, and then what is information security and what is this domain. And with one small example we try to explain that where one is plays the role, where computer security comes, where the network security comes, where is the information security. But the point is that all these types of securities are very important for organizations. So the focus was here is, unlike the earlier years where the focus was more on the hardware side and the security was not a bigger issue, with the network, now every system is a part of the network. Now network plays a very important role, or the online presence of any organizations plays a very, very important role. Security also has to be given a top priority of any organization, but not only one, but all these 3 kinds of security is important. The policy also has to be defined, who will be allowed to access the system. If someone is allowed, then what kind of access one can provide. So all these security issues are very, very important. We also have discussed in the earlier context that one type of security measure is not will solve all the problems. So you have to work at different layers, and you have to work with the different kinds of products to protect our systems. The focus of this slide was to make a comparison between different kinds of security measures: network security measures, computer security measures, and information securities. Thank you very much.